Hey, this is Dale Calvert. I'd like to welcome you to this session of the MLM Success Podcast. I hope you guys have had an awesome week. We've had a lot going on here that we're going to be sharing with you in this podcast. The title of this session is, When was the last time you ran? Have you ever really run? That's what we're going to talk about. You know, I was looking through over at MLMSuccessWebinars.com, a webinar I did several years ago, and I've talked about for years, many of you have heard me talk about the concept of wistful regret. And when you think about wistful regret is basically a kind of regret that you see a lot in nursing homes and a lot in older people. They get to a certain age and they start looking back on their life and they think, man, I wish I had done this. I could have done that. Why didn't I do this? It's different from hot regret. Hot regret is you have regret because you lose your temper and you go off and you do something stupid that you shouldn't have done. The prisons of the world are full of people with hot regret. But wistful regret is that life could have turned out better, different, if when I got to that crossroad, I'd taken the other road and ran when I got there. That's what we're going to talk about in this week's podcast.
Welcome to the MLMSuccess.com podcast, the show designed to return the network marketing industry to its roots of personal growth, leadership development, and wisdom of the ages success principles. We share with you real success stories from real people that we hope will inspire and encourage you personally and help you progress forward in your business and your life. We believe if you build people, people will build the business. Now here is your host, who has been called the number one mind in network marketing, the MLM Prophet, network marketing virtual mentor, and a host of other names that we will not mention because this is a family show. Frankly, he's just a small town guy that figured out that the real product in network marketing is people. Dale Calvert.
Hey, this is Dale Calvert. I'd like to welcome you to this session. We're going to talk about running. Run when you can run. When was the last time you ran? Have you ever ran? Last week we talked about the mentality that's necessary if you're really going to build a huge residual income with the network marketing business model. And we got into a lot of stuff. I heard from a lot of you guys that said, Dale, so glad that you covered that. You said a lot of things that I would like to say but to my team, but never have had the guts to say because it's true. And it's absolutely true, everything that we covered. What I'm going to do this week is just kind of share with you a little bit of what's been going on in my life the last few days. It's been beyond crazy, but in hopes that it will help you kind of categorize the focus, the mentality, the work ethic that it takes in business. It's not like you get up, you go to work, you know, when the boss tells you to be there, and you take your morning break when the boss tells you you can. And it's not like having a real structured environment where everybody's telling you what to do and when to do it all the time. It's different. It's a lot different when you're an entrepreneur. And you've got to be running. You've got to be working daily towards your long-term goals. If what you're doing is not taking you, it's not going to help you get where you want to go, if whatever you're doing at any time is not working towards that long-term goal, then why are you doing it? And it's not time to be playing video games and watching cat videos and just occupying free time. I mean, I'm amazed at the amount of free time that some entrepreneurs must have on their hands based upon the activities that you see them doing on a daily basis. I told several podcasts, I talked about I was consulting and training for a company. This has been 10, 12 years ago. And, putting their training together and traveling and doing a lot of stuff. And it's like every single day I kept getting this Facebook message where the owner of the company wanted me to join some kind of, I don't even remember the name of it. It was huge, some kind of online video game. And I'm thinking, how do you have time to be playing video games on Facebook all day long and operating a company at the same time? So I'm going to get into some stuff that I probably share too much information, probably more than I would normally share, but I'm hoping that it will really help people, because I think a lot of people they're doing the right activities. They're just not doing enough. You got to take it to a higher level. This is a numbers game. All of us are looking for the right people at the right time in their life. And see, I say that and I believe it. I don't have any emotion attached to it at all from any standpoint. It's like, if we want to run, let's run. If you don't, that's fine. You aren't going to keep me from running. Your response, positive, negative, it doesn't even affect me. If it's positive, it doesn't affect me. If it's negative, it doesn't affect me. My decisions are based upon the facts that I have in front of me, and then doing what I know I can do and let the chips fall where they may. That's the only way that I can function on a day-to-day business, on a day-to-day environment in any kind of business. You do the best you can. You provide the best service that you possibly can. You make the best decisions that you can based upon the information that you have in front of you. And then once that decision is made, you go for it. You don't lollygag. You don't passively try to build a business. You got to go for it. Back in session 57 of this podcast, that might be something you may want to revisit. If anything that I say today resonates with you, that would probably be good to go back and listen to. The title of that session was Run When You Can Run. And Run When You Can Run is a concept that I've taught for many years, because I think it's just so valid, especially for network marketers and really for any business owner. You've got to run when you can run. Strike when the iron's hot is another old-time saying. Strike when the iron's hot. Run when you can run, because you can't always run. Life is going to throw some curves sometime, and there's going to be health problems with family members and maybe even yourself. And, there's going to be distractions, and there's going to be carnage in the road. So you can't always run, but when you can run, you've got to get in the habit of maximizing every moment that you possibly can maximize when you have the opportunity to run. So I'm going to share with you some thoughts and ideas and some things that what's happened with us over the last 4 or 5 days. Again, if it's too much information, I apologize. Hopefully it's going to help you and give you some clarity as you build your network marketing business, some perspective on what it really does take. And as I've said many times, network marketing is a very difficult business model. It's one of the most challenging business models in the world, but it's worth it. It's one of the most challenging business models in the world, but it's worth it, because there's no business I've ever seen that can give you the freedom and the income potential, the residual income potential of the network marketing business model. Dawn and I have multiple businesses, and we have good people that we work with us to help us with everything that we have going on. But there's always going to be customer support issues. There's always going to be people that think the world revolves around them. And it's like, just give you a quick example, and I could give you dozens. But one day this past week, we had someone that had ordered a beach umbrella. As many of you know, we bought a business called forthebeach.com, the numeral 4, if you want to check it out, forthebeach.com. And it's been really good for us. I mean, we're really building that up and getting everything organized and moving forward, and it's been really good. We've sold tons of beach umbrellas and beach bags and beach toys and shovels, and the list goes on and on. And somebody had ordered a beach umbrella and paid express shipping. It went out the day they ordered it, and it paid express shipping. And this was maybe like on a Thursday or something. I don't remember where they were located, but normally should get there in a few days, but the post office is unpredictable. But we did our part. We did what we needed to do. We got it out that day, express. And it's probably like on a Thursday or something. And then on Monday, we get an email said, I needed this to be here by Tuesday. It's not here. So I want you to refund my money. What? I needed it by Tuesday. Well, nobody, I needed it by Tuesday. It's Monday. It's not here. So I'm asking for a refund. And, poor planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine. If you needed it by Tuesday, maybe you should have ordered a week or two in advance instead of procrastinating to the last day to where you could possibly get it if you pay the extra express shipping. Why didn't you just plan out a week or two and make sure that you received it in time for whatever event that you're having? That's not on you, lady. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not on us, it's on you. And so those type of situations, and a lot of you are in traditional business, you understand that the world is full of a lot of people that think the whole world revolves around them and their emotions and their feelings and their desires of the moment. And so you're going to have to deal with that sometimes. So in network marketing, there's certainly challenges. But the income, the upside income potential, when you can literally make 6 figures a month, have that kind of upside potential, and have the freedom and the lifestyle that goes around it and with it, if you structure everything and you build it on leadership and systematic systems that can be duplicated by the masses, there's nothing in the world that can compare to the network marketing business model. So it's not easy, but you know what? No business is easy. No business is easy. So if you're going to go for it, then go for it. And people ask me all the time, Dale, why are you doing all these other businesses? You have all these other businesses when you could be just focusing on building a network marketing team. Because I've done it 3 times. I've got the T-shirt 3 times. I like other challenges. I like to do other things. Ideally, I would do network marketing full bore, right straight down the road and not think about anything else if I had 100% control. But I'm not willing to take on that kind of responsibility to where I have 100% control, because I've done that too. I understand that game. And at different times and places in life, we're at different situations, and we have to learn to adapt. When I was 25, 30, sure, but not now. Things change. Everything evolves. So you have to understand who you are, what you want, what are you looking for, and then whatever it is. I don't care what it is, but I do believe that you have to understand and teach yourself how to run, how to go for it. I like getting up every day, excited, focused, know what I have to do that day for whatever business, and get it done and accomplish something every day, moving towards long-term goals. And for me, it's just about the thrill of the journey. I love the journey. There's so many people in network marketing, I believe, that have never learned how to run. They've never learned how to get focused, get through the numbers, and run. Because you know what? Most of the people that they hang around with and are around and communicate with haven't learned it either. They haven't learned it either. They're passively approaching a business. This is not a business that you can do passively. So, let me ask you a question. What if today the company said, look, if you hand out 50 pieces of literature about our product today to 50 different people, and they just sign off. Yes, they you got a number, a sheet 1 through 50, and as soon as you hand them the piece of literature, they just sign their name on number 1, 2, 3, 4. Get 50 names. Collect 50 names of 50 people that says yes, they handed me literature today. And from that, if you do that today, we're going to pay you $10,000. Doesn't matter if they buy, don't buy, join, don't join. You just have to get 50 pieces of literature in people's hands. How many of you would be at the mall with 50 brochures, even during COVID, just handing people brochures? How many could get 50 pieces of literature in the marketplace today? Pretty much everybody listening to me. Where literature flows, cash grows. It's a numbers game. It's getting your message in the marketplace every single day, everywhere you go, as many times as you can. Now, granted, during these times with COVID, it's changed, but most of you listening to this hadn't given out 50 pieces of literature in the last 5 years prior to COVID. Why is that? Where literature flows, cash grows. It's a numbers game. And again, it comes back to, what do you want? How bad do you want it? Do you understand that it really is a numbers game? It really is a numbers game. I've talked about this for years, and the formula is X number of people contacted equals your reasons fulfilled. The reality bottom line of this business, for you to get from where you are to where you want to go, there's X number of people that you're going to have to expose to your product and or your opportunity before that's going to become a reality. There's no stronger foundational principle to get from your head to your heart than just to understand that. It's numbers. It's a numbers game. You've got to get through the numbers on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. You don't know, and you cannot get emotionally involved in who does or who doesn't, or who sees it or who doesn't see it, who thinks it's a good idea, who thinks it's a bad idea. None of that matters. If 1,000 people say a stupid thing, it's still a stupid thing. If 1,000 people say a great thing, it has no barrier on your success. If 1,000 people say, oh, this is the greatest opportunity I've ever seen, cool. You still have to do the numbers. You have to get your business launched. You have to get it off the ground. You have to. Now, I will say, if you have, I can just give you an example. I was having a conversation the last couple of days with an old friend of mine I respect tremendously, a doctor. She's a doctor. And it's like she has the potential to make millions of dollars in this profession, but can't get out of her own way because she has not figured out that it's not about her. You know, she's trying to work a company that's been around for 10, 12 years. Everybody in the industry knows about it, has heard about it. But she believes in the product. And she really does. And she's smart. She understands the science behind the product and why it's a great product. And that's fine if you want to sell the product. But if you want to build a real business and create financial independence, certainly a credible product is an important part of the equation. But it's not the only part. And again, I've done a webinar on this. You can probably find it on YouTube, called How to Choose the Right Network Marketing Company. I'm pretty sure it's also posted over at MLMhelp.com. There is a three-legged stool. There's three parts of the equation. The product is an important part, but it's not the only thing. And so a lot of times good people have part of the puzzle. They have part of it right, but they can't put everything together. So why am I saying this? Because I'm saying, you know, we all have a number, But if you're marketing a lousy product and or comp plan at the wrong time in history, you might not reach your number before you die. Make sense? The law of averages is undisputable. You have a number. But the better your opportunity, the better the timing of your opportunity, the timing of your product, the support, the leadership team, all that other factors do matter. It does matter because they all play in your favor to bring your number down, if that makes sense. You know, if your comp plan has a fear loss factor built into it, that's gonna bring your numbers down. There's a lot of things that will bring that number down. But just as an example, and again, I've said this 1,000 times, but let's say that your company said, look, we're changing the comp plan as soon as you've contacted 1,796 people. They've seen a video. They know about our product and our comp plan and what we're about. And they sign off that, again, you've shown it to them. And as soon as you've shown 1,796 people our play one, for lack of a better term, but as soon as that's happened, we're going to pay you $10,000 a month residual for the rest of your life. How quick could you do it? How quick could you do it? And I really want you to think about that. How quick could you do that? How many did you say, Dale? 1,796. It could be 2,442. It could be 611. I don't know what the number is. Pick any number, but in our example here, 1,796 people. That's our comp plan. As soon as you've shown 1,796 people, doesn't matter if they buy, don't buy, join, don't join, none of the results don't matter. As Dexter Yeager walked out on the stage and said, the facts don't count. And yes, we did a podcast about that as well. The facts don't count. But as soon as you've exposed 1,796 people, we're going to pay you $10,000 plus a month for the rest of your life, residual. How quick could you do it? And see, that mentality, that excitement that you would have going out there. Imagine if the excitement you would have is if you knew that after 1,796 people logged in and said, yes, they showed me that number, whatever that number is. And again, in our example, 1,796, imagine the excitement you would have if that's the comp plan. 1,796 people, I'm at 10,000 a month residual for life. That's in my contract. Imagine the excitement you would have if that was the way that your opportunity and your comp plan worked. Doesn't matter if they buy, don't buy, join, none of that matters. All that matters is you hit your number. How would you feel? How excited would you be right now if you knew whatever company or product or service you're with, that's the comp plan? How exciting would that be? How quick could you get that done? How much enthusiasm would you meet the day with? Okay, so here's what I want to try to communicate to you. That feeling that you would have if that was your comp plan, you can operate in that feeling every day. I feel like I operate in that emotion, that mindset daily, right now, have for years. Because I understand while 1,796 might not be in stone, but I understand what it takes to create customers and team members, and I understand the wisdom, the laws of the businesses that we're involved in. And every day I'm working towards reaching the goals in those particular businesses. I'm not wasting time. I'm not wasting time. And I'm not, trying to create conversations with people on social media, for hours upon hours upon hours of time in hopes that one of them might come up with the membership fee to buy a kit and join my network marketing company. It's one of the reasons I talk about drop cards and why I love drop cards, because drop cards are just They're hit and run. You can go to YouTube and you can see a video I did on drop cards called, I think it's called Hit and Run Drop Card Technique. No time. Time's the most valuable asset that you have. So when you're working, you got to be doing the activities that will ultimately generate income generating activities. But you can work with an attitude of expectation every single day when you're not following all the tricks and the foo-foo dust, and just do what's been proven to work over a period of time in whatever business you're involved in, whatever company you're involved in, whatever products you're involved in. The name of the game is sorting through people. Amateurs try to convince people, professionals sort. And if I do anything, I try to run them off. If the timing's not right, I don't want them to join just because they know me, like me, and trust me. That's the last reason. I want it to be right for them. I want them to move forward. If I'm building a network marketing team, I don't want them to waste their time. Their time's the most valuable asset they have. As I said last week, and have said 1,000 times, if they just want to earn a few $100 extra a month, sell hammers at the flea market. There's your answer. You don't need to be doing this. This is about people who want to create financial independence. So, again, my point, you've got a number. I don't know what your number is. You don't know what your number is. But the law of average dictates that you have a number. Now, when is the best time to learn to run? I learned, I don't know when I learned to run. I think it's a lot of it for me is in my DNA. But if you look at some of the top leaders in network marketing, they got it. They're not passive. They understand I got to spend my time on income generating activities, and they're in a rhythm and they're doing it every day. You can pick out people that got it, and you can pick out people that are getting it, and you can pick out people that don't have a clue. The social club members that think just because they're hanging out, they're going to get there. And activity is just crucial. And if they're not doing activity, they're trying to figure out why. And usually that relates back to some kind of fear, which we talked about in episode 79 in this podcast. What are you going to do with the fear? So people are either running because they have goals, or they're not making effort because they're bound by fear. And it's just what it is. And if you can conquer the fear, then you can get yourself in a rhythm where you can run and get through the numbers and get to a point where you're recruiting your 3 to 5 people a month and controlling your own destiny in this profession. It's not that difficult if we stay focused on what's real. If we get down to where the rubber hits the road, it's not that difficult of a business. But we just want to, make people feel good and keep them hanging around and on auto ship one more month so they don't quit our team. And we don't get real enough with people. We don't get down to where the rubber hits the road. And we have to. We don't need to offend, but you have to love people enough to tell them the truth, as Jim Rohn said. Love people enough to tell them what they need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear. So when's the best time to learn to run? I believe it's during the launch, which most of you, it's already passed. But it's during the launch process is when you can really learn to just get through the numbers and don't worry about the response and just row. After you've launched, then you've got to find a clear path to customer acquisition and lead generation that makes sense. I can generate a ton of leads, but I can't. In network marketing and in most businesses, you can't afford to pay $212 per lead. So there's a balance there. So you're either going to have to spend money or spend time in lead generation, but you can get there. That's why, again, I love drop cards so much. And if you don't know what a drop card is, cmgpromotions.com, cmgpromotions.com. I'll try to put that in the notes. I'm trying to make myself a note here to make sure we get that in the notes. But that's why they work so well. And again, the video is at It's called hit and run drop card technique. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of what's been going on in our world. And it's real important that, for me, that people understand that I practice what I preach. I practice what I preach. I rely on wisdom. I just rely on wisdom. I rely on what I know works over the long term. I rely on that, which I think everybody should learn to rely on it. And it just makes everything a whole lot easier the more emotions you can get out of the situation. So I'll share with you my experiences over the last few days, and hopefully we'll drive this home, and then we'll end up this podcast. But some of you know about probably 4 or 5 years ago, we ran across a technology that was using Google Nearby technology, a little fob that you could place this fob in a restaurant, and everybody that walked in with an Android phone, this fob would automatically send them a message on their phone if they got within so many feet within a football field of this fob. So, and they would walk in with an Android phone and the message would come on. It was pretty cool. And a lot of people were using it, a lot of big department stores in big cities, letting people know about their specials when they're walking down the sidewalk. It was cool technology. I found it, and my thought was, okay, I've got to get these strategically located in Rupp Arena, where the University of Kentucky Wildcats play basketball, and over at Kroger Field where they play football. And we can promote one of our e-commerce sites, which is wildcatgifts.com, with these fobs. I mean, it was like genius. This is phenomenal. This is one of the best marketing ideas that I've seen in years. So I found a website, logged on. The most they would let me order at the time was, I think, maybe 12 of them. It might have been 6, I don't know. But whatever the maximum order was, I placed it. And come to find out, this is a direct sales network marketing company. It was called Acervia. And long story short, I'd been out of the industry for many years at that point. But when I saw this technology and I realized the market for it and all the small businesses, the B2B aspect I loved. There's just a lot of things about it I love. Bottom line, Don and I got involved, built one of the fastest growing teams in that company. And the way we did it was everything that we teach here. And then we had a clear path to customer acquisition because we could find small business owners that were advertising in these pickup papers, the thrifty nickel type rag papers. And we had a direct mail campaign. We cut out their ad and attach it to this letter, drop it in the mail. We knew they were already spending money on advertising. We knew that this product could really help them. And it was fun. You know, we had competitors in the weight loss business, you know, putting fobs out in front of their Jenny Craig competition, our Weight Watchers studios, where people were walking in Weight Watchers and they'd get a bing for another competing weight loss product on their phone, had them hid under mailboxes, and we had them all over Rupp Arena. They're probably still there, some of them, but just everywhere. And it was fun and it was exciting. We met some phenomenal people, and things were rolling for about, I don't know, I think almost 2 years. And then Google decided that it was discontinuing their Nearby technology. They were eliminating it, turning it off. So in one day, you know, we're making phenomenal money. We're having a great time with a lot of cool people. We got business owners that are our customers, which are great because, you know, it's just different when you're dealing with somebody with a business mind. And in one day, they just flip a switch and that business is over, gone, done. kind of tough. But we had heard that they were going to do it. We didn't think they would ever really do it, but we heard that they were going to eliminate the nearby technology. So a lot of us were looking for a home because we had good people that we love and respect, that we believe in, and we needed to find a home. And we decided on a company called Euphoria. And the reason being was really the product, the technology behind the product, customized nutritional products based upon a person's DNA that's designed specifically for them. I mean, this is like futuristic stuff. And loved the trend, loved everything about the company. We got everybody positioned from out of Acervia into Euphoria, and it's been a great passive income for us. And we've taken our checks and all the money. We built a really good passive income there. Not nothing great, but the challenge was the cost of the product. Very, very expensive compared to buying a multivitamin at a health food store. But again, in my opinion, it's in a class by itself. If you really want it, if you don't want it, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the cost is. But if you really want it, and if you really understand the technology behind it, then we can help you get it free. And to me, it was no big deal, but to a lot of people, it was. And a lot of people, just didn't handle the price objection very well. Well, let me show you how to get it free. And they're just trying to do it without learning and without expanding their comfort zone and without getting out of their normal spiel. And everybody got impatient, especially corporately. And there's been some drama, and the guy that we respected, the CEO, was booted out. And there's been some things that have happened since that time that, bottom line, I don't want to get through all the drama, but just lost trust. And if you lose trust, the game's over, as it should be. And to make a long story short, Wednesday, something landed on my desk. We've all been looking, and that it's like, my gosh. And because we've been looking for a new home, not actively, but knowing that the writing was on the wall. And then when this came across our desk, it's like, okay, we got great people that we believe in, that we want to take care of the very best of our ability. Saw this and evaluated it on a Wednesday. Thursday night, we did a private webinar with our team members, the ones that wanted to moved over. And we got everybody positioned correctly. We spent all day Friday getting that all done to the best of our ability. On Friday, getting everybody positioned. Then Saturday morning, I got up and I said, okay, I had a list of 63 people that I wanted to contact. And I thought, okay, the best way to do that is through video. So I made a video on Saturday morning and spent most of Saturday, like I'm building again, and I don't really know to what level, but I would love, down the road to just be focusing on building teams, building this team and network marketing and nothing else. I can sell every business that I've bought and make a great profit, because you make money when you buy, not when you sell. And we've improved a lot of them. We'll continue to do that. And I love doing that. But so I'm okay there. So I don't know. That's kind of, and I'm just kind of sharing with you where I'm at, because it's kind of the way life is, right? We just don't know. when one door opens, maybe another one, when one door closes, maybe another one opens, maybe it doesn't. I mean, you just never know. There's nobody on this planet that's more picky about companies than I am. Nobody. Because time is the most valuable asset that you have, and putting money into something that has very little upside potential makes no sense to me. I mean, it's the same work. It's the same work. So anyway, what was it? On Saturday we did the videos and got them out. And, my phone, everything started popping. And yesterday, which was Sunday, spent all day just getting new people placed and answering a lot of questions and going back and forth with a lot of people. Like say my original list of 63. And then today I got up and over the weekend I got through the ends on my cell phone. I think I got through the ends because I'm launching this just like I would tell you guys to launch it. If they have an entrepreneur background or spirit, they got the video. If not, they got information on the product, whether it's an aunt that's not entrepreneur or my Uncle Harry or whoever it is. I'm getting through my phone first. Getting through my phone, the people that I know, and letting them know, hey, we've launched. And so, again, getting through the numbers, getting through as many people on a daily, weekly, monthly basis as possible to get the airplane off the ground. That's how you win when you launch. It's numbers. And yes, I wasted time with people telling me how successful they are and how great they're doing over here and how they would never leave and they finally found the company they were looking for and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And that's fine, and I respect that, and I hope it's true. But all you have to do is just say, Dale, I'm fine, I'm happy. You don't owe me an explanation. And again, it's, you've dealt with so many, I've had to deal with a lot of really intelligent people that are making stupid business decisions because they're selling a ship that's already it's out in the middle of the ocean. It's already sailed around the world 4 times and you're still trying to sell it again. So it just makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody's going to have challenges when you're going through numbers, but you can focus on the challenges or you can focus on the numbers, because I've also had the number one, a guy I met 15 years ago, number one money earner in his company, number one, and is retired and spending time with his grandkids now, which I totally respect and appreciate. But he said, Dale, if you're doing it, if you're building, he said, I've looked at the comp plan. I agree with you. I've never seen anything that pays like this pays. I love the fact it's only $40 auto ship. We don't have to worry about people trying to stay on the $200 a month auto ship or more. $40, product that makes sense. It's not complicated. Phenomenal marketing plan. The best part is brand new. He's telling me this. They're just launched in the United States this week, but they've been around over 7 years in 30 different countries around the world. He said there's obviously money in it because they said the number one money earner is making $500,000 a month. He said, I don't see any red flags. I know you've vetted it. You've looked at it. I'm in, man. And so I've dealt with a lot of those too. Now, most people would have said, you know what? I know this guy's happy, retired. He's worked hard all his life. He's enjoying life. Just let him be. But you don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. So what do you do when you launch? It's like exactly how we've talked for years since the cell phone and text came out. You let everybody in your phone know one message that you're in business. We're still working on our direct mail letters with the sample packs because, again, this is in its infancy. But what I'm trying to tell you guys and what I'm trying to share with you is what I talk about is what I do. It's what I believe in. And, and you've got, if you get in a rhythm doing the right things over and over and over and over, good things are going to come your way. It's just kind of the way it is. It's kind of the way it is. So today, I was supposed to do podcasts Thursday, and again, all this hit. Usually Thursday's my day to do podcasts. We were doing the event Thursday night, and so all this kind of threw my week out of balance. And just to be honest with you guys, I mean, I've got about 16 different websites in the network marketing niche, and I've been looking at liquidating a lot of them, talking to a broker and really looking to scale back as much as possible, because my time, I would rather just spend it with the Network Marketing Leadership Development Academy members, the MLM Training Club members, and maybe continue to do this podcast. But all the rest, I would just rather liquidate, because my focus was, a week ago, it's like, I love the industry, but there's just too many factors that it makes I cannot justify the time that I'm putting into it based upon where I could be spending my time on other projects. I just can't justify it. And there's just too much that's out of my control. And that was the way I was thinking about a week ago. So things can change, and change quickly for all of us, which we're all aware of. So that's why when you can run, you gotta run. When you can run, you gotta run, because you just never know what's around the corner. But the only thing you can rely on is that when you have that time to put into income generating activities and things that will build a business for you long term, that's where your time and energy and effort should be spent always. So my thought today was, I'm going to get up and I'm going to get through the rest of my contacts in my phone. That's the number one thing I want to spend, and I'm thinking I can do that within a couple of hours. And last night I was up till 4 o'clock actually this morning answering emails, actually till about 3. And I was getting ready to shut it down and just getting ready to go to sleep. And I had made an offer. I've been talking to a guy in California about a website, back and forth. I offered him about 2/3 of what he wanted for it, which was about what I felt like it was worth. It's another Shopify store. And I offered him about 2/3, and he came back and he took about 1/3 off, and we went back and forth, and I made him my last offer like a week ago, last weekend, and never heard from him, and really didn't think I ever would. And so I was getting ready to shut everything down about 3 o'clock this morning, and I get an email from a company that handles the transaction where they hold the funds for you. And he had accepted the offer, my last offer that I made last week. It's like, I can't believe that he's accepted this. So I had to get up this morning. The first thing is get the funds wired into this holding account until we can get everything transferred and everything switched over. And they hold the funds until it's all done. And then he signs off and I sign off, and I own the business and the inventory and everything, and he owns my money. So that came in at about 3 o'clock last night. So I said, okay, well, I got to get that done first thing this morning, get that money wired. Well, I wake up at 8:30, so I had about 4.5 hours sleep, and I'm ready to go. I'm fine. And there's a note on my phone from Dawn. She said, Mom's having some health problems. We're concerned. I'm taking her to the hospital. So I also knew that this was going to be a major ship day for all of our other businesses. I knew that we had some overnight requests. Dawn kind of heads up the shipping on our other businesses. So she's at the hospital with her mom. I don't know how long it's going to be. I got to get this wire done. Got it done. I need to do a podcast today, because if I don't, there will be no podcast on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. You guys will be listening to this tomorrow, a lot of you. And my point being, life happens. Life happens. But, I'm in launch mode as well. I'm going to get through the rest of my phone today. The money has been wired. The overnight shipments will be shipped. Maybe not all the rest of the orders that we need to get out that came in over the weekend will go out today. We'll try, but they may not. But they will tomorrow for sure, because that'll be a priority. And that's kind of my point. You have to learn to bob and weave, and things come up that are priorities where you can't just be in a routine every single week. And I talked to you guys about back in the day, my goal when I first started in Shackley, years ago, I knew if I could schedule 32 appointments a month, and I had to create enough leads to be able to do that. But if I could schedule 32 one-on-ones, I would complete 15. And if I could complete 15, 5 of them were going to join my group. And some weeks things came up, my daughters might have had activities and maybe take us away for a day or two, or at least a night. And things come up, and not every week could you do that. But I knew that if I could consistently get in a rhythm, stay in a rhythm, and run when I could run, that I would get to where I want to go. And you know what? You can too. You can too. So this is going to be an interesting week for sure, because we are in the middle of the launch process. I haven't sent out maybe email to a few people, but I got a lot of people to get this opportunity in front of as quickly as I can. As far as this podcast, I don't know where all this is going at this point, because this has been a major change. See, when we switched from a survey to Euphoria, the cost of the product and clear customer acquisition was a bigger concern than I had anticipated. And so all of our Euphoria check, several $1,000s a month, we've been putting back into testing multiple ways, looking for a clear path to customer acquisition that could be duplicated through our organization pretty easily and quickly and affordably. And, with algorithms changing and just so much stuff. I mean, that's been my focus. My time has been spent, understanding when you've got to pack a product that, retails for, I don't know, $180, $200, somewhere in between there, and you're trying to get somebody to replace their Theragram M, you got to be able to focus on higher income people who have a belief in vitamins and nutrition. So that's been my focus really with that business over the last several months, really investing a lot of time, energy, effort, and money. Now you've got something that's landed in my lap that's a category creating product, because it's infused ions into this product, which is not something people like the other products. This was so hard to swallow, and it was. But this is just like a cough drop, and it's $40 a month auto ship. A 7+ year-old company that's already in 30 countries and already has people. The number one guy's already making $500,000 a month. There's just so many differences here that are so appealing based upon the experiences that we've had in the last year and a half or so, really the last 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 years, that it's just, where I was in a mode of trying to liquidate as many websites and really solidify what I was doing within the network marketing niche, and with the understanding that I've really come to realize that my focus on the network marketing niche has been out of obligation. Only on me. It's my own issue. But that I do have a huge sense of obligation to the profession because it did change my life. Just absolutely changed my life, put me on a path that I don't know what would have happened if I had not found this profession. But I'm excited, that I found something that I think I can really get excited about. And there's going to be multiple clear paths to customer acquisition through some of the sample programs and things that they're doing. And this could get real exciting real quick. It already has. I mean, it's grown just boom, 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 and people are just fired up. So I guess I really said if I'm going to mention it, then I'm going to set up a website. This is just for podcast listeners, just because I owe it to you, just in a spirit of complete authenticity. Because I know some of you, I was surprised in a survey I did not too long ago, is like a lot of you said, Dale, I'm not involved in network marketing anymore, but I still listen to your podcast. And I found that real interesting. So if that's you, please check this out. And anybody else that's curious, if you're in between companies, I just put it at personaldnanutrition.com, personaldnanutrition.com/private podcast. It's all together, one word, private podcast, no dash or anything. So it's personaldnanutrition.com/private podcast. And I've got information there because I know some of you will be curious. I've already gotten some emails from some of our podcast listeners wanting to know Dale, is it available in this country? Is it available in that country? So I wanted to get that out to you guys. But more importantly, the thing that I just want to communicate to the very best of my ability, and again, so many things I've tried to communicate over the years, and it's like I guess at this age I find myself thinking, they should already be beyond that. They should understand that you got to get in a rhythm. You got to stay in a rhythm. You got to stay focused, and you got to get through the numbers. That you got to run. You got to run when you can run. Run when you can run. Run when you can run. And some of you I know have never really gotten in a rhythm, but I want to end it with this thought. And I think this will really help some of you. There's many of you that listen to this podcast that have really never got into a consistent rhythm with your business. You've never, really understood leads. Leads create activities, getting enough people in front of the program on a weekly, monthly basis will enable you to sponsor 3 to 5 people. And if you can sponsor 3 to 5, you can control your destiny. That whole concept is something that you've never really taken from your head to your heart. Many of you. I know that. It's just never, well, Dale, I can't sponsor one. How am I going to sponsor 3 to 5? You got to get through more numbers. You got to get through more numbers. If I get through enough numbers, could I sponsor 3 to 5? Yes. And again, it sounds a whole lot like emotional work. Emotional work. And not real positive emotion. So some of you listening, you know exactly what I just said the last minute or two. And I want you to think about a time when you went to a company event, and when you came back from that event, you were at a place emotionally and psychologically that you've never been before. And you were contacting more people, and it was easy, and you didn't get emotionally attached to the outcome. You were just getting through the numbers, and you were in kind of a rhythm. Now, for many of you, you know exactly what I'm saying when I say that. And the only thing I can really try to help you wrap your emotions around is I know many of you have had that experience where maybe for just a day or 2 or 3 or a week or 2 weeks, but you were just getting through the numbers. It didn't matter. You were going through the numbers. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. You're looking for people that are looking for you. You're in a rhythm, and you're fired up, and you're excited about your future and where you're going. And see, that's the key to it, being excited about your future and where you're going, and knowing that you are doing the things that most people are not willing to do. So down the road, you can do what most people can't do. And you were in a good rhythm for a while, for maybe a short while, but you were there. You were there. Here's what I want you to hear. The fact that you have ever been there is an indication that you can get there and stay there. You can get there and you can stay there. And that's really the hope that I want to leave you with this week, because you can. If you've ever been there, then you can get there and stay there. But you got to be focused on the why, not the work. And again, this business is built between your ears. We did a podcast on that as well. But if you can get your mind right, and you can base it on, we make decisions based upon emotions, and then we get in trouble. If we could learn to start basing our decisions based upon facts, what we normally do, we try to make it based upon emotion, then try to find some facts to justify it. And unfortunately, a lot of network marketers, they start looking around and there is no facts to justify their emotional decision. So if you can make factual decisions and then get your emotions behind it and your vision and your dream, this is what I want to do, this is where I'm going to go, this is, and have that energy, you can work every day, and it's not even work, it's fun, because you're focusing on the right things. And again, if you've ever been there in your entire network marketing career where you felt unstoppable and in a rhythm for any period of time, the fact that you've been there once is absolutely proof positive that you can get there again and you can stay there, because you understand the value of being in that state of mind, that type of activity and mindset. So I hope this has helped you guys. I got a lot more personal than I normally would on these podcasts, but I hoped it helped. I'm planning on being back with you next week on another session of the MLM Success Podcast. We'll put the link below in the description. I hope you'll go at least check out the website. If you're in between companies or you're not building a company, please go check it out for you, not for me, but for you, because the front end of this is a binary. So all we're doing is building straight lines, 2 lines straight down, boom, 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 boom. That's it. So there's obviously going to be some spillover and some benefits from working with us, which I hope is obvious at this point. And I would definitely go check it out. What was it? personaldnanutrition.com/private podcast. And some of you I might be talking to next week. You guys have an awesome day, night, wherever you are in the world. This is Dale Calvert, and I'll talk to you next week on another session of the MLM Success Podcast.
If you haven't gone over to iTunes yet and rated and left this podcast a review, what are you waiting for? At Calvert Marketing Group, we want to spend our time on the projects that we know are providing the most value for our clients and customers. You leaving us a review and feedback on iTunes is something that helps us more than you realize. And more importantly, it helps others like you find us. So if you've not taken the time to rate this podcast, please go over to iTunes and do that for us now. It will only take a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and we will be back next week with another inspiring success story, wisdom of the ages training, or answers to your questions.